Good afternoon. At the beginning of this season, I told you that I might be thinking about doing something called the Pajama Chronicles. And what better day to do it than today? It's a Sunday, I'm in my pajamas, and something happened that I'd like to share with all of you. And the funny thing is not that it happened, because it's been happening a lot. And yes, it's about the cable and the internet that went out, and it's about bad customer service, which we talked about on Thursday. And it just seems to continue. Um, it's Sunday, okay? And I have plans. All last week, I had a very stressful week, as some of you know, because I've been writing about it on Facebook, that I was doing a lot of research and not getting a lot of answers for a really amazing show that I'm planning on doing on Tuesday. And I just finished my research yesterday, Saturday, at 6:30 at night. All last week, I spent most of my week researching, waiting for phone calls that didn't come, trying to get answers so I can do this show in the way I wanted to do it. So today was my day of rest, not to mention the fact that it's also NFL football playoff day. Big games today. What happens today tells us who's going to be in the Super Bowl. And so I did have plans. And my plans included a lot of television, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to say it's a Sunday, we're in our jams, we want to catch up on shows that we recorded during the week, we want to relax and veg out in front of the TV. Xfinity, however, our cable provider, had other plans. All of a sudden, around 10:30 this morning, the TV froze up, went out, then the internet went out. And this is not the first time it's happened. It's almost happening now once a month. And it happens in weather that is absolutely fine. If you see light coming in, it's because, I live in the mid-Atlantic, where we were supposed to get a huge snowstorm this weekend. We were in a winter storm warning. The warning's worse than the watch. Until 1 o'clock today, and right now the sun is beating down in my window. It's sunny. We got no snow. We got a lot of rain, and now it's very windy, but we didn't get snow. So there is no weather reason why our cable and internet should have gone out today. So, of course, as usual, I called the cable company. And instead of getting a human being, because they didn't want to deal with all the people, because it was actually out in almost all of Pennsylvania and a lot of other parts of the country as well. Again, if you read the people talking, it's out a lot. Some of them, God bless them, were out since last night, which is completely unacceptable. So I called and I heard that, yes, there's a service interruption in your area. We're working very hard on this, and we apologize for any inconvenience. And they said, we're hoping to have it restored by 2:18 this afternoon. This was at 10:30 this morning. And then, lo and behold, my husband and I, this is a consumer advice thing I have for you. We have a backup, at least for our internet. It's called the Verizon Jetpack. Maybe Verizon Jetpack will decide to sponsor my show, and I'll start getting paid for being with all you nice people on a Sunday. I strongly urge any of you, especially if you have an unreliable internet and cable system, to invest in one of these. You can get them on Amazon. And basically, that's why I was able to come to you the second that Xfinity and internet went out and tell you on the internet that it was out. It was because of this jetpack, and it's very simple to use. I think even I can do it now, although luckily my husband was home today and he did it for me. It's not hard to use, and you will have internet. It might be a little bit slower, but you'll have it. You will be able to communicate. It will work on your laptop, your tablet, and your phone. Okay? I strongly urge you to get this because Comcast used to be so reliable, and then when they switched over to this Xfinity crap, I have never had as many outages as I'm having now. It happens once a month. Then I hear my husband say, well, when you're at the Bay over the summer, it never goes out. Here's why. Is that whenever it's going out, when I'm here, it's going out during times when my husband isn't using it. When he's at work or when he's at the Bay on the weekend. I promise you it does go out. Because that's what I'm hearing from Xfinity customers. Excuse the things. Again, it's sunny here in Lancaster, but for some reason we lost cable and internet. So they told us 218. And then it came back at like, I don't know, 11 o'clock. So now I'm supposed to what? Be thrilled? I'm supposed to be, oh God, thank you, Xfinity. You told me it'd be 4 hours. It was only half an hour. Thank you, you're awesome. Bullshit. I'm not going to say thank you, Xfinity. I'm going to say fuck you, Xfinity, because it shouldn't have gone out in the first place. And once again, we have no explanation. Why did it go out? We don't know. That's above our pay grade. It just went out. But we fixed it for you, didn't we? Now, let me just say this. Many people out there, you're going to recognize you the second I start talking. You have called me all kinds of evil names, made snarky comments whenever I complain that my television or internet is out, especially when it's out at the Bay. Oh, you're an idiot. You don't go to the Bay to watch TV. Well, you know what? Were you there last season? Were you there when it rained 7 days in a row, constantly? It rained every weekend for like a month. Every weekend was torrential downpour. Can't lay on the beach when it's pouring down rain. Can't go out on your boat in a thunderstorm or torrential downpours. Can't go jet skiing. Can't play cornhole. What do? You watch TV. But no, see? I'm a spoiled, stupid bitch because I care more about television than about enjoying the beach. Again, it's raining. Wouldn't I look like a stupid idiot if I put on my bathing suit, walked down to the beach in the middle of a downpour, and sat on the beach? Wouldn't I be an idiot? Hell, we had a Halloween party scheduled at the Bay, and it was raining. Nobody wanted to come. We're not going down the rain, oh my God. So they canceled it, and everybody went back to their trailers, and they tried to watch TV. Guess what? Wasn't working because it was raining. Now what do we do? I have been criticized constantly for my addiction to television and internet. Well, you know what? I would like to be in a home right now who Xfinity hasn't gotten to yet. And time's a ticking for that NFL playoff game. How many are losing their minds right now? How many bars and restaurants who have Xfinity and their Xfinity is down and they don't have a football game on that television at 3:30 this afternoon? What are they going to do? They're going to lose business. They're going to lose business. People will lose their minds if that football game is not on because Xfinity's out. Then all of a sudden, it's important. So I have a suggestion for those of you who like to criticize me when I'm pissed off if I can't watch the shows I enjoy on a Sunday or any time. Why don't you walk a mile in my shoes? Why don't you think about what if the roles were reversed and it was something that was important to you? You were in the middle of watching something that was important to you. You wanted to watch it, and all of a sudden it went out. And now you're done. You can't watch it ever again. It's over. How would you feel? I bet you'd lose your freaking minds. And I heard it in my own house today. During the week, if the cable goes out, my husband's like, well, you know what? I got you your internet back. You got the backup. Don't worry about it. Nothing you can do. Oh, that wasn't the attitude this morning. It better be back before the NFL starts. It better be back before the playoffs come on. I got to find a place to watch the football game that has satellite. It's different when it affects something that's important to you. And that's why I want you to understand that when I'm upset about something, I'm trying to avoid these spots. When I get upset because I can't watch something important to me and you all jump on me like I'm a spoiled bitch, it's hurtful. Because I know damn well right if it were something important to you that you couldn't see because you're not getting something that you paid good money for, then you'd be pissed off. And you would feel completely justified for losing your mind. Like a football game. Look what happened during the O.J. Simpson situation. Remember when O.J. was in the Bronco and he had a gun to his head and every news station broke in to a basketball game. Oh my God, basketball playoff game. But what they did was, because they knew the basketball players were going to lose their minds. Who the fuck is O.J. Simpson? We don't give a shit if he kills himself. We need to see the game. So they split the screen. Basketball, hopefully, what the news stations were hoping for was that they were going to get O.J. Simpson committing suicide on live television. That's why they were following the Bronco chase. But basketball fans lost their minds. How dare you? If you notice, the President of the United States, unless, like if 9/11/01 had happened on a Sunday or a Saturday, they would have interrupted football. They would have interrupted anything, as they should have. But anything else, the President never schedules a press conference on a Sunday or a Saturday, or mostly he doesn't even schedule them in the evenings when This Is Us is on. God forbid someone misses This Is Us because the president needs to speak. But in the middle of the afternoon, when I'm watching something important to me, oh, yeah, we can interrupt General Hospital. Nobody gives a fuck. It's just a soap opera. But see, it's not just a soap opera to me. I've met the people who I see on my TV every day. I've watched that show since I'm 13 years old. I'm 54. That's what, 41 years. Again, my math isn't great, but it's a long time. So it's important to me. And therefore, I don't appreciate the snarky comments I get when my show is interrupted or when the cable goes out for no reason. I mean, my cable goes out in a hurricane. I get that. An earthquake. You know, some kind of act of God. But when it's been going out recently, and it's been happening, like I said, about once every 3-4 weeks, for 2 to 4 hours at a time, for no explanation, I have a problem with that because I'm paying these people. And see, I'm not paying these people, and you're not paying these people. And my friends at the Bay, you're not paying Resource Communications to watch TV at their convenience. You're paying to watch at yours. When you turn on that TV, it should turn on. And you should have all your channels. And if something goes wrong, they shouldn't take 2 or 3 days to work it out. And they should explain to you why it went out. They owe you that because you are the customer. And you are always right. You're always right. They work for you. And it's time we start forcing them to do just that. If you're a business owner, you would not accept this kind of performance from one of your employees. If your employee fucks up, you're going to want an explanation why. And I think we as customers deserve to know why. Whether you're at the Bay, or you're here in Lancaster, or you're an Xfinity customer, a Resorts customer, a PPL customer, or a Chop Tank Electric customer down at the Bay. You deserve to know why. And blaming someone else or passing the buck is not an explanation. So I suggest to all of you in the future, when you discuss a power outage or a service outage with someone whose salary you're paying, someone whose children eat because of you, someone whose roof over their head is thanks to you, you demand the same explanations from them that you would demand of any employee who works for you who screws up. So that's my first episode of Pajama Chronicles. Again, I'm supposed to be relaxing. The TV is back. I don't trust it right now because it's only just come back, so we're going to be a little worried. And it is very windy. And as I've told you all before, another issue I have is with the trees in my neighborhood that have been allowed to overgrow into the lines, the power lines, the internet lines, the cable lines, that nobody seems to want to take responsibility for. It's pass the buck, pass the buck, pass the buck. The electric company says it's the city's responsibility. The city says it's the electric company's responsibility. And on it goes. So it's very windy, so I am nervous. Some of my TV channels have been tiling because it's windy and the limbs are blowing into the cable wires that connect to my house. It's not my tree, so it's definitely not my responsibility. I can't cut it down. The neighbor could sue me. But it's someone's responsibility. And I guess that'll be another show. I hope it won't. That's one show I really hope I don't have to do. Because you're going to have to cover the children's ears if I have to do that show. If one of my neighbor's trees takes my electric or my cable or my internet out. That's going to be a bad show. Cover your ears. But look, I may seem crass and I may seem spoiled, but at the end of the day, the only thing that I expect is to get what I pay for. If I were getting cable for free, I would never be allowed to complain if it went out. You get what you pay for. My problem is when you don't. So, Pajama Paula is out. Please watch my show on Tuesday. It's going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to learn a lot.